Well, as you can see, we made a run yesterday to the Cracker Barrel, and I want to show you something I did last year with my Foodsaver that really worked out well, and you may want to do it also. So we're using a Foodsaver today for something important. So last year I discovered something at Cracker Barrel that is just absolutely fantastic. One of the best things I've eaten in a long, long time. And that is not just a pecan pie, but a chocolate pecan pie. And it's got, you can see, well, I'll open it up in just a second. You can see the chocolate chips on top of it and such. Worked inside, it got chocolate. Oh my gosh, it's good. So what I did last year was bought up a bunch of these, and I did it again this year, and vacuum sealed them in the Foodsaver and froze them for a long, long time. I'll tell you about that in just a second. Let's pull this out of the carton, show it to you. Now this is not a commercial for Cracker Barrel, but it's just, if you find something on sale or find something you like that is seasonal, and that's what this is. They will stop making these. They make them around Thanksgiving. I'm not sure they go into Christmas, go into the Christmas season. I know they make them around Thanksgiving. So these are something that is very, very seasonal. I knew I couldn't get it again the rest of the year, so I bought 4 of them last year, froze them, vacuum sealed, like I'm fixing to show you, and it was probably September or October when I ate the last one. I was very disciplined, I guess you'd say. So they lasted a pretty good while. They lasted me about 9 or 10 months. Well, nearly a year. So anyway, but that was discipline on my part because unfortunately, I love sweets. So we're going to vacuum seal these. I'll show you what I did last year, and it just worked out great for me last year. But again, it doesn't have to be pie. It can be meat you find on sale, which would be a rarity nowadays. It could be certain vegetables. It can be anything that you find that you think is going to be scarce. And I'm going to start doing a series of videos on preparing. I think it's past time that we begin to prepare. And so I'm going to be doing a series of videos pretty quick on preparation. This will just be, this is kind of a lighthearted one because not everybody's going to want to go buy 4 pies. But these are like $10 a piece, $10, $11. I didn't look. Last year they were $10. This year they may be 12 or so. But that is a really, really good pie for that price. Again, not a commercial for Cracker Barrel, just a how-to video on how to store things that are seasonal that you can only buy maybe at Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that, but you would like to enjoy all year long. This is one of those things. So let's get started. But last year, this thing slid right in there. It was tight, but it went right in there. So I will put this in there. It's a little difficult. I wish I had more counter space. I may have to kind of put my leg under it. I'd like to get the end of it, this here, down in that well right there. That's where the vacuum, where it's best to get it. So I'm going to get it down in there as far as I can. Hey, that worked pretty good. I want to make sure there's no wrinkles right here because you don't want to seal right here on a wrinkle. That could fail. Lock it down, vacuum it. The red light means it's sealing. When it goes off, we're done. Now what I'm going to do, what I typically do, is bring it out just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch, lock it back down, and this time don't vacuum, just seal. And so I'm putting 2 seals on it, just for safekeeping. I don't want this to fail because these are probably going to stay in the freezer for 8 to 10 months, maybe 12, who knows. So there is the pie. I mean, just as hard as it can be. It's got 2 seals on it. Beautiful pie. I mean, just as hard as a brick right now. It will freeze, and it will freeze real well. A lot of other things will too. In fact, we got another pie that my wife, somebody brought her some the other day at work, and she loved it, so we bought it, and we'll probably freeze that and open it up Thanksgiving for sure. One of these chocolate pecans will be for Thanksgiving, and then the other 3 will be for me down the road next year. But let me show you the other pie she got, and hopefully it'll fit in one of these bags. I think it might be a little bigger, I don't know. This is called a cinnamon roll pie. It is cinnamon rolls in a pie crust. Let me open it and show it to you. I am going to try not to drop that little dude, but as you can see, cinnamon rolls with icing all over it. And it's in just a regular pie shell, just like the other one. So I'm hoping it will fit in one of those bags and seal. It's taller, so it may squash it down a little bit. I'm expecting it to, but I don't think that's going to be a problem, simply because it's fixing to go in the freezer anyway. Let me put it in a bag and show you. All right, there it is in the bag. I had to do something a little different because the icing, some of the icing came off as I was trying to slide it in, and you can see where the icing kind of drug across it. So I had to take a wet rag, and where it's going to seal along that edge, I wiped it off so I didn't have any icing on it, because I thought that could compromise getting a good seal. So let me put it in there. All right, now this one I expect to smush those cinnamon rolls down. We'll just have to see about that. Smush them down a little bit. Sure is. But it is pulling a good vacuum. Man, oh man. Good vacuum. Let it seal, and I'm gonna seal it one more time. Light went off. I'm gonna back it off just a little bit. Clamp it down, seal it one more time, just to make sure I get a good seal. The Foodsaver is an amazing device. I've shown you before many times that you can do canisters with it. You have to have a canister attachment for it, but you can do canisters. In other words, mason jars full of beans and rice and powdered milk and things like that. And I'll be covering a lot of that in my videos series to come about getting prepared, prepare now. But that worked real well. It's just as hard as it can be. So it got all the air out of it. This one's not going to be frozen long. This one I'm sure will come out Thanksgiving in about 2 or 3 weeks. But Cracker Barrel is a pretty good ways from us. It's a 40-minute drive for us, thereabouts, 30-40 minutes. So we don't go there very often. While we're there, we do buy what we need to buy. So there are the 4 chocolate pecan pies. And this is the new addition to Thanksgiving for us, and that is a cinnamon roll pie. Now that would be wonderful for breakfast, but it's also pretty doggone good as a pie. Again, there's a crust under it, just like probably the same crust as is under the chocolate pecan pie, but got cinnamon rolls on top. A lot of good icing on top. A little bit messier to put in the bag because I did have some icing spillage when I tried to stuff it in here, that it was dragging across the top because the pie is a little taller than the other one. But anyway, there were 5 pies in about, well, it took me a lot longer to tell you about it than it did to do it. So Foodsaver is a really good tool to have for food storage, for long-term or short-term. Because again, with the canisters, you can go long-term on rice and beans, lentils, things like that. So I'll be showing you some of that soon when I start the series on preparation. But just want to show you the pies. First of all, they're mighty pretty. Second of all, 3 of those chocolate pecan are going to be around all next year. Well, most of next year anyway. Depends on how long, depends on how disciplined I am. But that's it. We're gone. Putting up pies with Foodsaver.